All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. All right, I'm the brother Kazak. To my right is
I'm the brother Yashimai.
All right, and the brother has a lesson.
So-called Incas of the Inca Empire and that whole area dealing with Peru, and basically from Colombia to Ecuador, how they basically were Israelites and they knew they were Israelites. And we're going to prove through the scriptures basically what tribe they came from, man. You know, and many other things, man. You know, with different articles we're going to go into proving that, you know, that the Americas basically was the land of Ophir, where King Solomon actually sent his navy oftentimes to get certain resources, man. Mainly gold, you know. Yeah, something, bro.
Khan. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him,
Khan.
Those are the 10 tribes.
Right, and these are actually 10 tribes, man, which after King Solomon's rule, man, the 12 tribes had split up into two kingdoms, man. You had the northern kingdom and you had the southern kingdom, man, which the northern kingdom consisted of the so-called natives, so-called Latinos and Hispanics, which we know as today, man. Then you had the southern kingdom, which consisted of the so-called Negroes, the so-called West Indians, and the so-called Haitians, man, today. You know, go ahead, bro. Which the southern kingdom represent the kingdom of Judah, man. You know, and the northern kingdom basically represent the kingdom of Israel. Go ahead.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser, or say Salmanassar, but Shalmaneser, and Hosea is Hoshea. Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
You can do it through your natural history, or you can go into the biblical history and go and basically see how the Assyrians took the northern kingdom into captivity, man. Go ahead.
Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Which that country was basically America, man. You know, because the northern kingdom, where the whole kingdom of Israel, they basically knew about America because during the time of King Solomon, he actually had his navy and he sent, you know what I'm saying, he actually sent those different Hamites over here, man, which I'm sure some of our people was coming with them, you know what I'm saying, at the time. So that's how actually people knew about the other side of the world, man. It just didn't come into their mind, oh, we're going to go to a spot. They actually knew about it from the time of King Solomon, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Right, so that's the counsel they had took, man. They they had remember how they had went off, and they was like, they basically was like, man, that's why we came to captivity under these Assyrians, man. So they actually took counsel among themselves, like, look, we're gonna lead a multitude of the heathen, man. We're gonna go over here to this land, basically, where mankind never dwelt, which means where mankind never lived, man, because you had the actually neighbor Solomon actually going back and forth into this land, but no one ever lived here. They just came to get resources and went back to the east, man. You know?
Yeah. King Solomon's navy, they left landmarks, those different old heads, but they never stayed here. Like the brother said. All right, and it says, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth.
Man, which they call America today, man. You know, and this one of the main reasons why the so-called white man took the Apocrypha out of the Bible, man, because it actually going to history, man. It actually named names, man. Then it actually proven to how when Christopher Columbus and all those other explorers got to the Americas, prove who are these people that was here, man. You know, this actually proved that, man. You know, which going to that movie was it 1492, where Columbus went back to the Queen, like this basically how they knew how to get here, man. You know, how they knew where the other tribes were, man. You know what I'm saying? Going back into the scriptures, you know, because that's how, like Esau, as far as with his science and everything, all he do is go into the scriptures, man, and then try to come up with his own. He'll put his own twist to it, man. He'll philosophize with his own little twist to, like, he actually understand how things work, man. Which really he just went into the scriptures and then he listened to the prophets and the men of the Lord, man, and that's how he got his knowledge, man. You know. You want to say something, bro?
You said it, bro. It's Deuteronomy.
Okay.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 24. And of Asher he said, let Asher be blessed with children, let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil.
Right, man. And this going to the tribe of Asher right here, man, which this is a prophecy letting you know, like, the description and the conditions, like, that Asher was going to be in, man. This describing the tribe of Asher, man, you know.
Yep, in the last days. Where they will be living in the last days, man. Because we just got the scriptures in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 39 on down, proving that they came over here. So this is getting more descriptive of the different regions in America that they will live in. Okay? And it says, and of Asher he said, let Asher be blessed with children, let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil. Thy shoes shall be iron and brass, and as thy days, so shall thy strength be.
Man. So it say that thy shoes should be dipped in iron and brass, man. You know, which we prove all things, man. So basically, I'm gonna go into the natural resources in Peru, man. Thy feet should be dipped in, what does it say?
Let him dip his foot in oil, and thy shoes shall be iron and brass.
Right, man. So we're gonna go into the resources of Peru, man, which is copper, silver. You can speak on that.
Now it says thy shoes shall be iron and brass. Well, copper, that's basically, copper is brass. It's just comprised of other different elements. Okay, go ahead up.
Silver, gold, petroleum.
Silver, gold, petroleum. Petroleum is the oil. Let him dip his foot in oil. Go ahead up.
Timber, fish, iron, ore.
So iron. All right, thy shoes shall be iron and brass. Okay, so basically the land that they would be walking on will be abundant in resources, okay, in natural resources, okay. Go ahead.
Coal, phosphate, potash, natural gas, hydropower.
Right. So those are all the natural resources that are in different parts of South America, man. Okay, which is where the tribe of Asher would be. All right, from Colombia to Uruguay. Okay.
Which going into what you brought out earlier, when you was basically going into, like, the land, what the name Peru actually translating to meaning fertile, man. Fertile land, man. You know.
And since the spirit is on that, you know, because like brother said, we prove all things. We have the book here, Origins of the American Indians, European Concepts, 1492 to 1729, by Lee Eldridge Huddleston. Okay, and just to get a few quick things, page 71, and it says at the bottom, the Indians did retain a few Hebrew words such as Yucatan, Mexico, and Peru. All right, now for Peru, it says it means fertile. All right, now when you look it up, okay, when you look it up online, all right, in the Hebrew, the word for Peru is Pawara. Pawara, which means fertile. Okay, another way of saying it is para. Para, which means to bear fruit, be fruitful, branch off, to make fruitful, to show fruitfulness, bear fruit. You know, so speaking about that land, the land of Peru, proving that that's the tribe of Asher, because we just got the different characteristics of the tribe of Asher. Okay, so that all speaks for itself, man. All right, and we're also hidden different information, proving that the lands of the Americas were known as Ophir. this is where King Solomon's navy came. All right, you know, and we can start off with the article you have.
Okay, I'm gonna read that verse 25 again, going to that longevity. It said, this Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 25. Thy shoes shall be iron and brass, and as thy days, so shall thy strength be.
Oh yeah, well, let's break that down. You know, for you guys that's hey man, that's winging it like GOCC. All right. Hey man, that's talking about as thy days, so shall thy strength be. The tribe of Asher would live long lives, but still maintain their strength. They will still be strong in their old age. As thy days, so shall thy strength be. So like they adding on years, but it's like they getting stronger. All right. Hey, so that's the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. And we looked up a few articles dealing with that, and basically what we found in Peru, the oldest woman to live, so they say, because it might be someone else. The oldest woman to live in Peru is 117. All right, and she passed away last year in 2015. All right, and it says the oldest man in Bolivia to live was 123 years old, and Bolivia is basically right under Peru. Okay, so that's the tribe of Asher. As thy days, so shall thy strength be. They live long lives, man. Here in America, we can barely reach 50 or 60, 70. We can barely reach that, but they living to be past 100, man.
And they still be walking and operating and functioning properly, man. You know. So hey, like the brother was saying, man, that from that whole area though, from Colombia to Uruguay, man, that's where the people live the longest at, man. Going back into that prophecy, man. You know, going back into the characteristics of the tribe of Asher, man. You know. Now I'm gonna get this article, which is the title of the article is basically the Hope of Israel Ministries, which this some ecclesiast of Jehovah, which this Esau thinking he knows something, man, which he trying to put his own twist on. But it said the saga of ancient Hebrew explorers, man, and it had a question like, who really discovered America? It said the ancient Hebrews reached the shores of the North and South American continents thousands of years before Christopher Columbus. What evidence is there for Hebrew and Israelite occupation of the Western Hemisphere even 1,000 years before the Messiah? Was transatlantic commerce and travel fairly routine in the days of King Solomon of Israel? Read here the intriguing, fascinating saga of the true discoverers of America.
Yeah.
Right, man. So this proved Esau knew, man. Esau know, because even when you had those like ancient historians and stuff who actually was discovering this stuff and proving, man, the elites really killed a lot of them off, man. When they was like, because I forgot the one explorer, but he actually was going to like what is his name, James Adair. James Adair. Right, I forget one of the actually archaeologists who was like during his time, man. But anyway, the thing with him, when he had actually put all his fortune into proving that the 10 tribes was the Israelites, right, which he had inherited from his father. But some kind of way he ended up in debt, man, to the damn bankers, and they end up locking him up, and they say he actually died of a disease, man, which I actually believe, in my own opinion, they killed him off, man, because they didn't want nobody to get this information, man. You know, because he, like I said, he had put his whole fortune behind proving that the 10 tribes was the Israelites, man. You know, then suddenly he came in debt to where he couldn't pay his debt off, and they locked him up. He ended up dying in prisons, man. But the knowledge still got out there, man. You know, the knowledge was still preserved, man. You know, for the elect's sake. But they at least knew. They at least know who the 10 tribes are, man. But more important to them, how they knew was going back into the scriptures, man. You know, that's why they end up taking that apocrypha out of there, man.
That's why the scriptures say about Esau, thou art wiser than Daniel. There's no secret that they can hide from thee.
Come.
Esau look up everything, man.
Come. You had some.
Did they have someone else talking about Solomon?
Yeah, on the article. Come. It say in December 1989, it was reported that an American explorer in Peru's highland jungles had found evidence that indicated King Solomon's legendary gold mines may have been in that region. The explorer Jean Savoy declared that he had found 3 stone tablets containing the first writing found from the ancient civilizations of the Andes. He's talking about the Andes Mountains. The inscriptions he reported are similar to Phoenician and Hebrew hieroglyphs.
Right. So you have on one aspect of them finding these different explorers finding the gold mines in Peru, and on the other hand, you have them finding these Hebrew inscriptions on tablets, man. All right, proving that the people that lived there before Christopher Columbus and these different explorers came, proving that the people that lived there were Israelites. Okay, and that those different gold mines that they found, that goes back to King Solomon's navy coming over here, man, and acquiring that gold. You know, the Americas were called Ophir because of the abundant gold that they had. All right, and I have some quick scriptures for you.
You gonna get that and finish this? Okay, come.
1 Kings chapter 9 verse 26. And King Solomon made a navy of ships in Ezion-Geber, which is beside Elath on the shore of the Red Sea in the land of Edom. And Hiram sent in the navy his servants, shipmen that had knowledge of the sea, with the servants of Solomon.
Come.
And they came to Ophir and fetched from thence gold 420 talents and brought it to King Solomon.
Come, man. So Solomon was the wisest man on earth, man. So he knew about all this, man. Going back into the wisdom of Solomon, where it say through his wisdom, he basically had figured out how everything worked, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as nature and the animals and everything, man. You know?
Okay. And I'm gonna jump to 1 Kings chapter 10 verse 22. For the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Hiram. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks.
Hey, then it say once in 3 years, man. Going back to the to what we read in 2nd Ezra, man, took a year and a half to get there and a year and a half to make it back, man. Which that's that once in every 3 years, man. That's how you link. Hey, that's how you link. Which proved that the Apocrypha was part of the Bible, man. You know, if you actually read the Apocrypha and read the Bible, man, they link up right with each other, man. The prophets saying the same thing. Then different prophets like Ezra and them and Baruch, they go into detail into certain. They put the puzzle together in certain scriptures, like in Revelation, and then going into this with Solomon, man. You know, which link everything, which link the whole puzzle up together. Back into the article, it said reports the San Francisco Chronicle. The hieroglyphs on the tablets are similar to those used in King Solomon's time and include one identical to the symbol that always appeared on the ships he sent to the legendary land of Ophir, which the Bible describes as the source of his gold, Savoy said on December 7, 1989. And say Savoy is no newcomer to archaeological discoveries. He was the discoverer of the last Inca city of Vilcabamba in 1964. Savoy declared that the 3 tablets each weighed several tons and measured about 5 by 10 feet. They were found in a cave near Grand Villaya, the immense ruins of the Cachapoyas Indian civilization, which he discovered in 1985. Man, so this archaeologist, man, he you know, when he found this in 1989, man, he had been doing this for years, man. Which he said he found that last Inca city in 1964, man. So that right there showing you he had at least been doing this for 25 years, man. So it wasn't like he was no rookie in this, man. He would have knew like if this was some stage or this was a
so-called hoax.
Right, a so-called hoax, man. You know, which that's how they did things. That's why they wrote in different stones. That's why like the ancient people, well, you know, the tribes that came to America, then which it goes back to the east. They wrote, when you write stuff in stone, man, you can't change it. Then it's gonna be there forever and ever, man. As long as that stone there, whatever you inscribe on the stone, it's gonna be there, man. You know?
Yeah, it's a record.
Come.
You know?
Come.
And I mean, really, it's to the point to where really it's plain, man. You know, the Incas were calling gold the sweat of the sun.